Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back. If you don't know who we are the Rustic Girls. I'm Katie, and this is my mom,
Patty.
and we're here today just to chat about life and living intentional, being creative, all the good things. But today specifically, we were thinking about what to kind of chat about, and we were thinking, heading into the holidays, it's really tricky to not overspend. And it's really tricky to make sure you get everything. I mean, how many times is it last minute realizing, oh, I forgot this person?
Yeah.
And so I think we're just kind of wanting to chat and share our favorite tips and our favorite tricks for getting all the things done, but staying on budget through the holidays. And then we'd love to hear from you guys. What are your favorite tips? So do you want to kick it off or do you want me to?
I'm going to let you kick it off.
All right. I sometimes feel bad because I go back and watch the videos. I feel like I'm always the one just like diving in. So I want to give you the chance. So I think that, one of the big things I do, and it is a little late in the season for that, but is having a list. Having a budget and having a list. And so with having a list, I prefer apps because I always have it with me. It's not something I'm trying to remember where I put it, or I'm at a store and I can't remember. I got to check when I get home. And so I used to always use AnyList. It's a great free app for that. Recently, I've switched to Trello this year, and I love Trello even more. It's a little less simple. So if you're looking for just straight up simple list, AnyList is where it's at. But Trello is a little bit more elaborate. And so you have boards, and on that you can have your list. They're called cards. And so I have a board for Christmas and where I've listed the things I've bought and the people I intend to buy for, and maybe ideas I have under each person. And then I also have a wish list board, and I keep on it my wish list, my husband's wish list, and my kids. They can add to it throughout the year, or I add to it for them. And then I also, on that, I go ahead and list their clothing sizes. So that's something, and I share it, which is one thing I love about it, is I can share it with my in-laws, with my mom. So they have the access. So, because I don't know, they'll text me at the store, like, what's your kid's shoe size? And I'm like, I don't know my kid's shoe size. I have to go look it up, go pick up their shoes. So I love, love, love Trello for making lists. And I think that's huge, is staying organized and knowing what you have and what you still need to get. It helps avoid that last minute chaotic run to the store, throw things in the cart, which is where you always end up going over, spending way too much. And on the line of lists, I actually really love, what would you call them? Like rules, I guess. So there's the rule of 3, only get 3 gifts. One we did for many years was the want, need, wear, read rule. And I loved that one because it just created a little bit of variety. It wasn't a bunch of toys and just junk, but it wasn't also, sometimes that can be really practical. And my husband's over here going, that's not very fun. You're buying underwear, or they need a jacket. Let's just buy them a jacket. I'm like, well, no, it's part of the gift is we should enjoy all types of gifts that we get. So I really want to be intentional about cultivating children who appreciate gifts, even if they're not shiny, making noise.
Right.
Everything's a gift. Everything's
there's something to be said for a pair of pretty new panties.
I can't disagree with that. Yeah.
Pull your old ratty grannies out of the drawer.
Tis true. Oh my gosh. Yeah. How many times my kids too have been like, I don't have any underwear. And I'm like, I just bought you underwear. How do you know? That's a whole different day. That's a rant for another day. Underwear and socks.
Another day, another topic.
So I love the rules, but I think one thing we are transitioning to this year is actually to do 2 gifts. And the one gift will be from my husband and I, from the parents. And then the other gift we noticed our kids have this knack for giving really special gifts to each other. And it'll be just random stuff, whatever they felt like filling the bag with in the room. It'll be random scribbled pictures, stained stuffies. It's a wild card. Some change.
Even family heirlooms.
Oh yeah. One time they wrapped up for my sister-in-law's birthday, they wrapped up something and they opened it. I was like, that's a family heirloom. No, we're not giving that away. Oh my gosh. That reminds me of that time.
I'm reclaiming that gift.
Remember that time when I was 11 and don't look at the cobweb in the corner of my laundry room. When I was like 11 and I had that doll, that Cabbage Patch doll that I gave to someone from church, and you found out and you were like, no, there was something special with the doll, and I had to go back and apologize and get it back.
Yeah.
What was so special about the doll? I forget.
So, I think it was in the year. It was in the year I think my mom died. I had, and you were really, really little, but I had found this Cabbage Patch doll, and her name was Ariana Phyllis. Well, my mama's name was Phyllis, and so I had specifically chose her for you. And you know, you weren't into the Cabbage Patch.
I wasn't a doll person, so
you weren't a doll person, really. And so, yeah. But, you know, I think every generation does it. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, it blows my mind now to think about it. But and it seemed rational at the time. Like, I didn't, like,
it always does. Always does.
But I had went and got some jewelry out of my mom's jewelry box. And I took it to church and I gave it to a friend of mine at church. And my mom was like,
wait a minute. That's
you need to go get that. So embarrassing. So, but you know,
not even your own jewelry box, like your mom's jewelry box. Oh my gosh.
I don't know why I thought I had like special access or whatever, but
it's for my friend now. Yeah, so we've noticed that they're and so we've been trying to teach them how to be good gift givers. So instead this year we're going to do the one gift from us, and then we'll provide the budget, but they will draw kind of like Secret Santa, but it's not a secret. They'll draw each other's names, and they have to think about, so they can really think about who they are, what they would want, what they would appreciate. And then, you know, they get to choose that gift and wrap it up and give it to them. So for that was for us. So we created some parameters. Another thing that I do is in being prepared is actually keep the stockings out year round.
Available but hidden.
Available but hidden. So that I can just pick up little trinkets, especially when they're younger, but even when they're older. Like,
and that's a great idea because, you know, I used to just have like, you know, a paper sack or whatever that I would collect them in. But I mean, having the actual stocking.
I remember how many times you had to fight to try to fit everything in the stocking.
Right, to try to fit it in there, or you realize, worse yet, you realize, wow,
not full.
And sometimes it's, you know, like this person, you found something a little bit larger, and this, you know, these were littler things, but when the kids see the stocking,
it's so sad.
They see,
one's overflowing and one's half filled.
And so I love that idea of keeping it so you actually are
kind of aware of how full
it's getting. Yeah, and I know when to stop on any individual.
Exactly. When they're done, they don't need it.
Because some are easier, I think, to find.
Yeah. And so, you know, that's so like I can pick it up, you know, year round. I love shopping from like clearance racks at stores because especially at this age, like random little like hair thingamabobs or doodads, you know, you can have 20, you can have more.
Stickers. Yeah,
exactly. And I also know that I'm a little bit like my grandma in that, you know, many times I've found things the following year.
Yeah.
I went, oh shoot, there is something for 2 years now. We've bought them and I put away and I keep losing it around stocking time. And so I've progressively, so year one, I left them up in the top of the attic. And I thought, I'm just going to go up there. Because they didn't. And so I started staging. Staging's where the problem's at. You never make it to the spot. So now they're actually in my bedroom. So I can just, as soon as I get stuff, don't tell the kids. Right? Secrets. So I think just being like really thoughtful and intentional about kind of what you want for each person in the sense of like, how many gifts when you're talking about your children, but even in like who you're going to give gifts to, because it can grow. I mean, for us, we always try to do, you know, something for my in-laws, something for you guys or for you this year. Not going to cry. Something for like my pastor's family, you know, but like I have friends who give me gifts and being intentional about, because you get a lot of the guilt gifts, right? Because somebody else gives you something. Friends
can be tricky.
Now I gotta give me. What about my kids' teachers?
I didn't think to give them a gift, but they gave me one. I'm like, this is awkward.
But one of my go-tos with that I found is for the ones that I care about them, but just for us, our budget is limited and I can't do 100 different people. And so I had to be very thoughtful. So I prefer to do is something like a nice handwritten card for the friends that I want to give something to, / I know they're going to give me something. To be prepared is to write them a card about just what they mean to me, how grateful I am for their friendship, and then like let's get together for coffee, my treat. Because it's a gift of time. It's relatively inexpensive, and it's not right around the holidays. I can spend that money in January and February, and it's still thoughtful and still has value.
Touching on that, another like really simple. I like the handwritten. I think that's kind of a lost art. Is the handwritten letters and notes, but coffee date, that's great. But another, really inexpensive would be a handwritten note. And along the lines of, we didn't really get into it, but you touched on clearance racks, but also thrifting or garage sales through the year.
Yeah.
Is, if your friend, your person is like a tea lover or whatever, maybe not a coffee date, but maybe pick up a pretty little teacup. At a garage sale or a thrift store, and put a tea bag in it along with a handwritten note. It's a very inexpensive, and then with the caveat of let's have tea together.
I love that.
So that's another little fun thought there. I mean, and I think that really that's the rub, right? Is not putting yourself in the position where you're at that last minute panic, because if you have the time, there's so many things like that. There's so many ideas out there that are low cost, simple, relational, and sweet little gifts that big bang for your buck. Big bang for your buck.
Yes. And I think, on that note too, of being, thoughtful and thinking ahead and doing the thrifting is right there. I mean, that's a huge way not to overspend. If you have a list, and again, these are tips that would be good for year round, right? So after Christmas, we'll probably touch on these types of things again, just because it's good for going into the new year. But even now, it's not too late to make that list, start thinking about, and then start thrifting on a regular basis. Hit a couple. In the summertime, you can hit, spring, hit the yard sales. And I think a lot of that stigma that I know, like my kids and my cats have decided to just start making noise. No. There used to be a stigma, and there's a little bit, but of secondhand gifts.
Yeah.
But I think especially as we've become more aware as a society of the consequences of overconsumption, fast fashion, there's even less and less. And there's actually more of a positive take on getting something. And so I think the more you can actually do it secondhand, the better it is for our world and the better it is for your budget, which means you can go that much farther.
Well, and I mean, you can even go one step further and shop your own house. Think about what you have that you would like to pass on. Don't wait till you're gone and or you're nearing being gone. There's special things that you can pull out now at any age, and you can start passing those on.
Now this does skirt the broken toy subject, stained things. When we say shop your home,
for
something beautiful.
For
Maybe
sure.
it's an heirloom piece you want to pass on.
That's what I'm thinking.
Or, I think even really beautiful old books. Or
an old book or an old quilt or an old, things
that have special meaning and value that aren't destroyed. Also make great gifts for sure. And I think
that's something you scrounge up off your bedroom floor.
Or the bottom of your storage bins. Yeah. And I think on that line, do a card with it if you're going to do something like that.
Oh, for sure.
It tells the story.
Yes.
So they have that with them, because especially when you're talking about heirloom things, once you're gone, the story's gone with it. And so giving that with is value.
Well, and which is all the more reason to pass along before you're gone, because I mean, how many stories have we heard of, kids that like they go into their parents' home and like, I don't know what all this stuff is and
junk and
worthless stuff. But if you knew that this was like, something that came across the country on the wagon train and survived, and to you it's just a piece of old junk. But if you know the story and it's part of your family story, how much more special. And I think, my generation is starting to get that, and I think the younger ones are starting to get it, that just hanging on to stuff forever is not the way to go.
No,
start letting go and letting people enjoy it while they want to enjoy it, and while they can, and while they know what it's all about.
Yeah. So I think those are trail. Yeah, it's a great one. That's what we do, guys. So yeah, I think have a list, have like rules or parameters in place, be intentional, shop secondhand, do everything you can to avoid the Christmas Eve shopping, because that's where, no, you can't be on camera. I love you. Okay, go play. She got a cord. That was close. So I think, the last step of it is about the budget. And I think it's being intentional about what you're going to spend and how you want to spend it. And, it's really great if you start right after Christmas, you kind of figure out your tentative budget for the year of who you think you're going to buy gifts for, allot that money. For us, we set a cap of 2 friends. And so we just have that as a slot, and kind of that just rotates with whoever we're really close to, whoever we feel led to give a gift that year. And so we can budget a little bit for that. And then all year long, if you can, just pocket them anyway, because then you can do your shopping earlier in the year. At this point, because you are kind of hitting that final countdown, I think shop the sales, shop secondhand, but make a list and stick to the list, because otherwise you're going to end up just throwing a bunch of stuff and it's going to be chaos. And oh my word, can you flip that over? It's just going to be chaos, and you're going to end up spending way more than you need and way more than you budgeted, and you're left with regrets at the end.
Well, and I think for sure, sit down, make yourself a cup of tea, pour yourself a glass of wine, whatever works for you, and sit down. Maybe put a little Christmas music in your headphones.
Go get a cup of coffee at a coffee shop.
Yeah,
Christmas
tunes. Especially get away from distractions and sit down. And whether it's sitting down with a notepad and paper, or sitting down with your favorite app and jot down some ideas and look at your budget and think about what you can do. Definitely take that pause before you head out
to the stores.
Yeah,
it makes a big difference. And I do think there's no better gift than the gift of time. That's one thing, one of our family traditions for birthdays was that they got to choose a restaurant during the birthday month. They would get to choose a restaurant. We'd all go out to eat. But as my kids have gotten older and they don't split kids' meals, and they don't even just eat the kids' meals, they're now buying adult meals. It's gotten really expensive. Like, we're lucky if we get out for less than $100. And so one thing we're transitioning to is, with a bigger family like ours, I have 4 kids, you don't get one-on-one time a lot. And so instead it's going to be a rotation of mom and dad. And on a kid's birthday, they'll get to go out to wherever they want to choose. So it could be breakfast, it could be lunch or dinner with mom or with dad, whichever one they have, and they get to choose a restaurant. And so they get one-on-one time. And I think that in a world that, we've all experienced it. We've been on the receiving end of people we want to spend time with being too busy, and we've been the people that are too busy. So I think even, not just kids, but people you care about, your friends, family, I think, don't you dare, Kat. My kitten is kittening and the light cord is hanging down, and she's like, oh, that looks like that might be fun to swat at.
Or swing from, or whatever.
Come here, baby. Okay, say hi to Princess. She's the cutest little thing. Aren't you? Look at the camera. Look at her cute little face. All right, go play. What was I saying? Oh, parents. As they get older and you get busier, I mean, you grow up, you have your own children, you've got your own things. It's hard to spend time with your parents or your grandparents, and they just long. That's what they want. You just sit and listen to their stories and hang out with them. And so I think even for those family members, you know, people like that, give them the gift of time of like, I'm going to do something simple. I'm like you said, like the teacup, or offer to buy coffee, or bring them a treat, but all of it tied to let's spend some time together. It's super economical, and it's at the same time one of the most valuable gifts I think you can give anyone.
So I would like to offer a little bit of perspective from the older generation. One you just touched on is for the older generation, and you know, they just want that time with you and to listen to their stories. Don't underestimate that, and don't miss out on that, because they want to share those stories, because that's how they live on, is by you knowing their stories. So absolutely. I mean, whether it be long distance and it's a phone call, a video call, those are amazing gifts, because the older I've gotten, the less I want stuff. Like there's certain things that I want and I need, but just the stuff and the random, you know, another blanket or another coffee mug, and I love
all those things.
We love all. I love
how many
the
blankets and coffee mugs.
But yes,
and you snuggle.
So
start choosing your favorites.
Yeah, and so that is excellent. And then also from that perspective of as you get older and you know your income diminishes, you know, you can't do the things you once did. I mean, we used to do bring it on, you know, as the grandkids all started coming. It was like Christmases got bigger and bigger and bigger, and the gifts, the gift pile exceeded the tree by a lot. And you know, like, you know, this last year in travels, we had decided, okay, our chosen, what we're going to do for all the grandkids is get them a t-shirt, get them a shirt from different places we visited, and, you know, kind of what we feel like might fit them. But honestly, the shipping of even t-shirts, like, almost exceeded the cost of the t-shirts.
Yeah.
Which is super discouraging. Because that dips hard into your budget. But, you know, give yourself grace and do what you can. And, you know, I can remember, you know, certain grandparents, like you just knew you always got, you know, a birthday card with maybe like, you know,
$5 in it or whatever.
$5 in it, or, you know, a Christmas card with $5 or $10, whatever they had. And, I mean, as a kid, that's cash in your hand. Like, I didn't think.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, if you are a grandparent watching and you're on a fixed income and that's what you do, I want you to know, as like the mother of 4 little girls, they freaking love those gifts.
Yeah,
they're like, yes,
it's my money. I get to go spend.
And as an adult, you're like, oh, it's just $5. Like, I can't do much. But honestly, kids they love it. Like, it's okay if that's what you do, because it's such a simple thing that they do really enjoy it.
Right.
But I'm assuming you're going if there's other things.
Yeah, but also, you know, sending them, you know, I mean, there's just so many things. You could send them a picture of, you know, their parent when, you know, a moment from their parents' childhood with a story about their parents' childhood, or, you know, even about them, you know, a moment from their, you know, when you were a baby, like this was, you know, and even if they're young enough that they may not fully treasure that now, I mean, those are the things most mamas are going to squirrel away for them.
And they will.
And those are like, those are...
Way, go the other way. Don't come in this door. Because I have a camera going, okay?
I don't want to say they're eternal gifts, because I feel like that places something on them that really doesn't belong, but they are definitely, they're gifts that will outlive you.
Yeah.
Because
that's what matters.
Yeah.
I mean, we realized
exactly.
We bought our kids toys, and 3 months after Christmas, like most of them, almost all of them, are forgotten, on the like broken or unwanted. Like, it's just, they don't last. And if there's nothing wrong with those sparkly fun gifts and those toys, but just knowing that like it's very short lived. I mean, Kinects and Legos are the only things they consistently come back to.
Yeah.
So I think finding gifts that are a little more timeless.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're young, it's challenging, but I think things like that, especially if, they have a mother who recognizes the value and, will appreciate the moment with them and then put it away for them to appreciate even more later. Those are special. Oh my gosh.
Well, and I think,
guys, we normally record that. We are re-recording this at like 6 o'clock in the evening. My family is around. It's so chaotic. I'm so sorry. I tried to outsmart YouTube and record on my laptop so we could go actually live without 50 subscribers, and the audio didn't work. And so we're trying to re-record it, but now there's a bunch of people, so I'm so sorry for the chaos.
And I'm not trying to step on toes here, but
my boots on?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I should put mine on too. I think heartfelt gift giving requires like an investment of your time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say get to know the person, because if you're giving them a gift, you hopefully know them.
But think about who they are.
To give the time and thought to it of what, they would appreciate and love. And I mean, honestly, life is busy.
Mm-hmm.
Get it. Sometimes circumstances, finances, whatever, puts us at the place that, oh my gosh, it's 3 weeks till Christmas and I haven't done a thing.
We've all been there.
And, but that leads to lazy gift giving,
mm-hmm.
because you're panicked and you're just trying to give a gift for the sake of giving a gift.
So I've checked a box, I've given a gift.
I mean, there's been times when I've just said,
mm-hmm.
you know what? Sorry, I don't have anything for you right now. I'm going to do this after the fact, because I just didn't have the capacity, and I didn't want to just buy some crap that nobody wants and that I probably couldn't afford.
Well, I think that's how you get to the very commercialized Christmas, where we're all buying each other gift cards so we can just get what we want, instead of it being this time of like, when we look back, I mean, the girls have been reading, one of our family read-alouds right now is the Samantha series from the American Girls, that I've had since I was a kid. I love Samantha, and it's on the Christmas book right now, which is very fitting. And she's got all these gifts. She's been working all year long to make these gifts for the different people. And they're very thoughtful and thinking about who that person is, what they would value, and like pouring themselves into it. And it was so much about the spirit of wanting to give them love and show it, show your love. And now it's like, it's been cheapened by the commercialism that they sell us short. That, the best thing you do, if you love somebody who's give them exactly what they want, get them a gift card, and then you're done.
Give them cash.
You give them cash. Yeah. And it's like, I think you just lose out on so much. I mean, some of my favorite gifts to give and to have received are the ones that are either, there's something that I never would have thought to ask for, or that they would have never thought to ask for. And I thought of that and got it for me. And you get to see them be so excited. Right. And it's just such a sweet time.
And I think on the receiving end, like, there's the underlying message of, oh my gosh, I would have never thought to ask for this. So you immediately understand that they've observed me. They know what I needed or could use or might want that would make my life more comfortable, or whatever the case may be. And so that deepens the meaning of the gift.
And maybe you pare it down. You know, this is where you're at this year. You didn't plan ahead.
Right.
Life happened. Here you are. Pick 2 people. You know, pick 1 or 2 people. Just to be like, these people, I'm going to nail it with them. I'm going to sit and I'm going to figure out something really special. And everybody else, shop the way you normally shop.
Yep.
You know, and then after Christmas, when it quiets down a little bit and you're evaluating the new year, think about, what do I want Christmas next year to look like? And I think at the end of the day, you know, we've talked a lot about gifting, but remember the holidays are really about, and it's about being together, being with people you love, and telling them how much you love them. And so the gifts are just bonus on top of that. And so don't sweat it if you can't get nice gifts. Don't sweat it if you don't have the time or capacity to do really heartfelt gifts. Like, just be there and be present.
Yeah,
and I mean,
sure.
There's been times at Christmas where my kids have gotten flooded with gifts from their grandparents. And there's been years that, like, you guys' work money was tight, or, you know, my in-laws' money was tight, and there wasn't extra gifts, and they didn't really notice. Like, it didn't ruin the holiday. You know, one of the leanest years is the most. I can remember one of the leanest years, it was basically just gifts from us. And they were like, wait, that was only like, where's the rest of it, you know? But like, it didn't ruin the day. They just went to playing with their other toys and they were fine.
Well,
so it's like, it's really okay. We put this pressure that it has to be this big thing, and it doesn't.
Well, and I think anyone who's been in a situation where the money flows freely and the gifts flow freely, you know, even in a situation where the parents have tried to instill gratitude, or there can still be that, like, there's not even an appreciation for the gifts, because there's just so many. It's so overwhelming. It's so overstimulating, and it's like, rip one open, toss it aside,
okay, next,
and then it's next, and then you know, it's days later before they like settle in with like, oh, well, this is really cool. Wait, who gave me this?
Right. For sure.
So, you know, there's something to be said for, you know, like I said, we already touched on the overconsumption, over everything world we live in, is paring it down and
keep it simple. I love the quote about love grows best in the small houses, and I think it's the same with Christmas as with all things. I think when you keep it simple and keep it really just about being in the moment and being together, like, you can't go wrong. So we'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and how this. I will tell you what, this morning's wasn't quite so heartfelt. So I honestly feel like this chat was way better than this morning's chat. I was like, I feel like there's more to bite into. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And we look forward to hitting 50 subscribers so that we can go live with you.
For sure.
But have a good week, friends.
Bye.